YouTube to actually post it in podcast form. I
Oh,
don't know what the
really?
processing time was on that. It was like 3 days later. Like I checked every day for 3 days. I'm like, oh no, we're come back later for that. It's so
Scumbag. It's called you a scumbag.
the YouTube app has been doing that recently. Twitch has been doing that recently. YouTube hit you with that recently. Everyone's just
Yep.
calling us scumbags.
Yep.
All right.
They did get me with that shit.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to another installment of the least on-time Star Wars podcast that is in existence. Not the only Star Wars podcast. I've been told that there are other ones, so I'd like to apologize to everyone for misleading you on that for 5 years. That's on me.
I think there are podcasts which sometimes mention Star Wars, maybe is what they're talking about, but
Okay, well, we'll have to put more research into that. But I'm Corey, joined as always, slightly late, by my co-host, Mr.
I got
Justin.
a teething baby. Teething baby.
I have a teething puppy. What do you think is...
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you missed last Thursday's stream, so...
Yeah, but I didn't want to be there.
You think I want to be here? I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's fine. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Skeleton Crew episode 4. So how are you feeling halfway through the run of season 1 of Skeleton Crew?
Good. I'm hoping we get a season 2 announcement at some point. I guess the numbers aren't amazing, but the fan reception is, so hopefully they can make it work with the budget and get cracking on a season 2, because apparently it takes Star Wars 9 years to... Dave Filoni's they'll interview him, he's like, yeah, I've started to daydream about Ahsoka season 2.
He said it's the next thing he's working on, so...
Sure it is.
I mean, that's at least, 2 years out then, if you're starting on it. But I think we talked about this a bit on the first episode about Skeleton Crew, where, the show was delayed in its release for a year. So these kids are at least, 2 or 3 years older than when filming this? So, it's not impossible to just jump forwards a few years, but...
Yeah, I was told by someone who knows that it made reshoots very difficult for certain parts. The kids had, aged noticeably, especially, they're at that age where they start shooting up like weeds.
Yeah, well, don't phrase it that way, but...
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Growing like weeds.
They also, good for them if they decide this, but when you're that age and then maybe you decide you don't want to be in acting anymore, that can happen. So maybe there'll be a spiritual sequel to it. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. If this ends up being all we have, then I will accept that. But it's been fun so far. This was probably the weirdest episode
of the galaxy. Yeah, I didn't love this episode. It was weird in a lot of ways. I was watching it and I was just like, what is going on here? Why is it like this?
Yeah, I started off feeling that way, but the more we understood what the situation of the planet was, the more I kind of got on board with it. And it's probably my darkest fan instincts that prompted that initial response as well. So there's probably some soul searching I need to do about why having EOPs on another planet might make me upset. But it seems like they've been given this stuff. There's the AATs that were kind of modified. There's the big turbo laser battery they had looked like it was one of the ones from a Providence or something. So they've either been sent this stuff or they've been exploded.
I thought it looked kind of like that Separatist one they have on the tripod. Oh, not on a tripod, but the Separatist artillery they have.
In Geonosis stuff? Or...
Yeah, I'm trying to... Might be Clone Wars only.
Wow, a lot of it looks like some kind of Separatist thing.
Spell artillery under pressure here. There you go.
Artillery.
Yeah, maybe it is the Republic one I'm thinking of. The AV7.
Oh, it looked a lot more like the Invisible Hands guns to me. Maybe I'm mispicturing it, but...
No, you're probably right. Yeah, that was a Republic one, right? Not a...
The AV7 was Republic, yeah. It's a little cannon that has little legs and it floats around. It was in the Clone Wars cartoon first. But,
yeah, my issue wasn't so much with that. It was just the episode was just weird. it felt like it was definitely going to be a lot longer. Like the fact that Jod gets captured and then he's just like there and it just happens like that. It was just, I thought it was really weird.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's just that like the stuff happening on at Akron doesn't matter so much as like setting up this is another planet in that cluster of whatever was set up with that Aten. So there's that connection there. They need to establish that Jod is actually going to help them in some situation. So that happens. And then Neil had his kind of budding romance, let's call it, with Hana. They both learn more about each other's backgrounds, and like it's kind of spurring, like it's forcing Fern to accept that she's not maybe the stone cold badass that she wants to present herself as, and making
She's got to be
Neil
more likable
step
though,
up
because
more.
even when she's going through that, she's still not super likable.
Really, I mean, I thought that was a good moment for like when I say she's not the stone cold badass. Like it's nice. She's not what she is like kind of falsely presenting herself as. But I thought it really worked for her character to have that
No, I
moment.
liked it too. I just she like well still wasn't nice to Wim even when that was happening.
Well, she's having a breakdown, Justin. Let's. It's not a
Yeah,
turnaround
but I
moment
think
for her,
like
but it's
that should
opening up
maybe
the
give you
gates a
the
bit.
yeah, I guess. I just I'm waiting for the empathy.
Well, where's your empathy? It's been many more episodes of you not having the empathy than her. These
No, because
things
I
take
liked
time.
I was a big defender of her at the beginning because I was like, yeah, she puts up a tough exterior, but obviously she's only got a mom, and it seems that way anyway. And her mom seems pretty busy, and she's kind of fake it till you make it, I think. But
I don't know. I think we're heading in that direction, right? Like this is the first step towards her not being a dick to Wim.
mhm.
But we have kind of walked back a bit on the relationship between her and KB. There hasn't been as much there in
Yeah,
this
that's true.
episode, in the
Yeah.
last episode even. But
hmm
I think we are going to get more focus on her and Wim. But
Yeah, I mean, we'll get character episodes for each of them. I'm sure we've got 4 left, and Wim was first, and yeah, we've got lots of time left.
yeah, so I guess we start off kind of just getting there immediately. And
Mhm.
Dana, I watched this with Dana, and her first reaction was
Past
like,
the
"Oh, they're
orbital night
already
cloaks, you
home."
mean?
What
I said past the orbital night cloaks.
is Zinj getting involved?
Well, that's what they looked like. Those like the satellites around the planet.
I missed them. I didn't even
Oh,
see any
really?
satellites. I was
You have
looking
the
for a
thing
big
open?
red barrier, and then there wasn't that, so I didn't even
They
see.
looked almost exactly like orbital night cloaks. They're all around the planet.
Did you do a clip on
They're
that?
I guess they're the things that make the barrier.
So I do the other planets have barriers though?
It seems to. Like it seems like those were the things that made it. They were just turned off. You should go watch the first like minute and a half of
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna
The
do
first
that
10 seconds
now.
of the episode.
I mean, we
'Cause
can
there's a
still talk
bunch
about
of
that. But they get to the planet, and then Smee was told to babysit. We got.
mhm.
I enjoyed that scene of
Yeah.
him calling Jod a baby repeatedly.
Yeah. Yeah. There was they were probably the highlight of the episode for me. I
Fucking
like
dad
when he was
tears.
like, just shoot me.
Well, then
Relatable.
he steals the money from Wim,
hmm
uses it
He
for a
seems
good
to feel bad
purpose,
about it. Yeah.
but
Yeah, and he doesn't just leave. He goes back for the kids because, like, I guess he could have just left, right?
could he have though? Like, I think he thinks he needs them to get there, and I think finding
Yeah,
that
I guess.
the money from Wim is probably like a hint of what the planets got on it, because everyone on Borgo Prime knew, or on Borgo knew how valuable those credits were. Jod definitely did, and he probably thinks there's more where that came from, as
hmm
Carthonasi would say.
Yeah, and there probably was more where that came from.
No, Wim's dad had the only $10 on the planet.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That was like his lunch money for like a week, and it's like carried them across the galaxy.
Oh, I thought that was an asteroid, but yeah, it looks like,
There's a bunch of them.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it also looks a bit like a TEC trade station, so I think they jumped into the
Yeah,
Sims
kind
2
of.
world.
Yeah, income is just wild.
You had to watch this at higher resolution before, apparently.
Yeah. Can't believe you didn't see the orbital night cloak.
Well, to be fair, I was being bitten by a puppy at the time, so
Fair
please be
enough.
fair.
I will be. I will be. I've been there.
Yeah, so they get to the playground, and
Hmm.
Ad Akron is basically built on the exact same plan. It almost seems like,
Yeah.
because weren't they commenting on like the layout being the same as well?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah. The
was,
follow references continue, where it's like another vault almost.
well, I was kind of
Um.
going the direction of like, this is a little outbound flighty almost, but
Mhm.
planets instead of the dreadnoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. They mentioned that the Citadel was in the same spot, and the StarWars.com put a trivia gallery up, and apparently the house is like the exact same design. I'm watching now, and it's even got the same sort of mural in the back, so
Hmm.
identical.
Well, the building they're in at the end with the like the pillars of all the planets, like the layout there looks the same as uh the other building that we saw on at Atten.
Hmm.
So the people there have to know, like they clearly know what's going on. I don't know if it's like you turn 18 and then you're brought into a room and you're told all the secrets of the
Well, the
planets.
difference seems to be that on Atten they've got the administrator
Mhm.
who is because like they say no one's. I think they said, and they no one's allowed in that building.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of the main difference, right?
Yeah, but the
'Cause
parents
it
seem to
doesn't.
know more about their actual situation. I don't think they know like everything, but they at least seem to be somewhat aware of what is going on. Although the kids also talk about the great work, so like maybe.
I think the parents may believe they're part of like a Republic test planet,
Mhm.
but like remember they think the Republic's gone. So like whatever they believe, they certainly haven't been in contact with the wider galaxy for a couple decades,
But you know
at
who would
least.
also believe that is anyone
Who?
who survived in Outbound Flight, the Republic Project, when they're found by Luke and Mara and the Empire of the Hand decades later.
Like the what's that planet called again? Is that the Redoubt they are on,
In the
or
readout, like the Chiss
yeah,
defensive thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah? I don't think we're going there.
No, there's Chiss here. That's how Grand Admiral Thrawn gets involved.
Okay,
No,
be curious to see it. Maybe the treasure is Sparty mining or Sparty cloning tubes.
ooh.
Hmm.
That, and then the Bad Batch shows up, and that's where we're getting our cameos. That finally we know where the real lore is.
Yeah, and he'll be reading his book, which like it won't make sense, but he'll be like, "You're Ahsoka, the Jedi hero of old." She'll be like, "Haven't you been cut off from the galaxy, kid?
This is where
You got
Ahsoka
updates."
was, not the world between worlds. She was on At-Atten.
Yeah, with Darth Maul and for some reason Aunt Beru, believe it or not.
Well, that would explain one of the skeletons.
Yeah,
The
wasn't
original
Aunt.
skeleton crew.
Yeah, it wasn't Aunt Beru. It was just Aunt Beru's skeleton.
Owen and Baru get their own Star Wars spin-off finally. It's just a live stream of them
Yeah, it's like those
smoldering on
like
Tatooine.
it's like the how Netflix will put out like the Christmas fireplace. It's just like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, crispy skeleton to chill next to. The vibe too.
Hmm.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful holiday log situation.
Put it on in the background for sure.
But I don't understand my next note because I
Okay.
have Hatton and Troik set up
Hmm.
or written because we have like the two warring tribes, I guess. There's the Troik who the kids go with. There's the Hatton who Jod goes with, and then it like immediately escapes and gets the EOPs back. The Hatton have taken the oh, that's what I must have written. So the Hatton had taken the Troik's EOPs, and that's what the current fighting is going to be about. I had
Hmm.
written down Sophie's question mark, but I think that was just auto corrected from EOPs.
Yeah,
So
that
that's a
sounds right.
mystery solved.
Google doesn't appreciate.
The Notes app is not my friend with Star Wars.
Yeah, that's why I do my notes on my Gmail. Yeah,
No, it's
always.
not going to do that.
Yeah,
It's not going to do it.
fair enough.
I immediately was like, "Oh, is it Troik? Is this Troika? Are they on Troika? Is this a reference?" And like, no, it's just two different tribes named something. They do have
Yeah.
like A
I wasn't
similar
like the
set of species, though.
yeah, the tribes like to me were kind of meh. Like they were pretty bland in a way. Like they had
Mhm.
elements of like Star Wars design where like they all like Imperial Army helmets and stuff, but like I just didn't think they were very interesting and like the even it was like a very blue and kind of washed out episode and I think that kind of contributed to it a bit,
Yeah.
especially where like it's moving so fast. It was like, you know, going back to like Fallout or Mad Max, it was like felt a lot like, oh, this is generic apocalyptic. I know it's not apocalyptic, but generic kind of scavenger city
Yeah.
with children. Um, and yeah, so I thought like that, and that kind of contributed to the weird feeling to me, where like, okay, like they put a lot of work into like all these sets and stuff, but like they don't really have a visual identity, and like they're kind of just moving us along, like they're going right into battle, but like the battle doesn't exist, and then Jod is there, but like why is he there? What happened? It's off screen. We're never going to see those
Yeah.
guys again. Um, kind of moving really quick, without a whole lot of identity. I thought and that was kind of my main complaint.
Yeah, like they definitely suffered for the fact that they weren't really the point of the episode, like having to
Mhm.
introduce them so quick and then get out so quick. But even earlier on, when Jod and Smee were on the ship, and like Smee starts smoking out the eyes because he can't say he remembers no At-Atin. Jod says, "Oh, let's see if we can jog your memory," and then that's when the scene cuts. But I don't know if we ever actually did anything for it, or if that was just setting up for later on
Yeah,
in the episode when they're in the
exactly.
Fallen Sanctum. It
Yeah,
did feel a little weirdly paced from all that.
yeah, kind of strange.
Yeah,
Yep,
right.
not great.
But this did we see much of the actual hat? Like we saw them walking past the once, right? And we saw them when they get Jawed, but I think that was it where they were actually in the episode.
Sorry, the what? The
The
Eopies?
Hatton, the
Oh
other,
yeah, no, like, yeah. Again, they also kind of just like disappear.
yeah. So like it would have been nice to know kind of how they got to that point of like were they the exact same setup as that Atten, and then like what was the inciting incident for all this to fall apart the way it did?
Mhm.
But other than like the immediate issue of the Eopies being stolen, and Neil kept saying like, "Hey, let's." If I was them, I simply would not fight. Like if you're gonna have a war, simply don't. But we
Yeah,
never
like
like
if you're,
didn't get much of
why are
that.
you so tied to the planet? Like did you crash there? Like, why not just leave?
Well, do they have the ships to leave? Isn't that
No, probably not.
they
Yeah,
don't
that's
like
probably
outs? They
that.
don't deal with outsiders much. All they do is have their hides
Mhm.
and some of their best hides
Yeah,
that they like. John could have had some good hides. I don't
yeah.
know if they
He
were
could have
Eopie
been.
hides. Like, were they offering to kill an Eopie and give him a hide right there, or what?
They had a lot of hides. Their tents were made out of hides. They had a little market. A lot of hides there. I don't think they were gonna kill one of their Eopies.
Well, where do the
Like I think
hides
the
come from?
Eopie
Whose hides
hide.
are they?
That's true. I
What are
just
the
feel like
Eopies for if not hides?
I feel like 25% of the time I've seen the Eopie, it's been farting. So
Yeah.
kind of stinky creature.
Yeah, it's probably not in the top 5 of Star Wars creatures I'd want to have living in my house. Like, Ackley are the coolest Star Wars critter, but
Mhm.
I definitely wouldn't want one of those living in my house either. I'd settle for, like, a
No,
Lothcat.
Lothcat would be really high, although they're creepy.
Kind of creepy, but at least they can, like, we know they're good pets. What else makes a good pet in Star Wars? I don't think we've really seen that many.
Corellian Hound.
That's just a dog. You can't just
Yeah.
put Corellian in front of everything that's from Earth to make it sound Star Warsy. Like, oh,
You're
Corellian
really not going to
brandy,
like the
Corellian
Aftermath trilogy
champagne,
then.
Corellian Texas Hold'em. Like, it's all the same shit.
Yeah, you're not going to like the Aftermath trilogy because that's something that happens all the time where it'll be like he fluttered along like a just
Corellian
like
butterfly.
yeah, or like any random planet and I'll be like, all right, just say butterfly. If you're going to do that, just say butterfly.
It's like how the Mandalorian had the space shrimps in that river when they mate Kara.
Yeah.
Or no, that wasn't
What it
Kara.
was
Anyways,
what was what did Alana have for a pet again? Was
Alana.
that
Oh, she
a
had an Exu.
Exu, yeah.
That I
Yeah,
also
a
those are
little Nexu.
vicious. They
Yeah.
have the power to turn a regular shirt into like a crop top in one swipe with no blood.
You can't have blood get in the way. Yeah, you gotta be able to focus on the abs. You can't have blood. Come on, George.
There's the fucking frame by frame analysis of the throne room fight in The Last Jedi, but where's the complaints on the frame by frame analysis of this? Internet. I don't care.
Um, Elliot from Battlefront Updates did a really funny video where it was like analyzing because she jumps off that thing and lands right on the creature's back. It's like analyzing the force that Padme's body just took, jumping like 30 feet down, landing straight on her like on her seat, right
Oh,
on
was that
top of that
Elliot?
animal.
I think I
It
heard of
was.
that video like when it came out, but I didn't know it was.
Yeah, yeah. It was like Padme's groin takes 1,000 newtons or something.
But we have the scene with General Strix. Hana, his daughter, vouches for the kid, like, hey, they're great. They should go fight a war for us. Because this place honors their kids by making them fight in wars. Uh, but Strix kind of seems to suck. He respects them. That's nice. But did you get more of the like they bartered for all this stuff sense? Like they traded some hides for the AATs and Providence cannons, or do you think this is like was there like actual Clone Wars involvement here or like earlier?
No, I think the cannon I think it was built into the city.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see the cannon on at Atten.
Okay. So
I
maybe
think we've
they have
seen
some of the
Chekhrov's Republic
AATs,
cannon.
an earlier AAT version then basically that were already
Because
deployed there.
if you look, she's got a thing that she like she turns like a mechanism and the cannon pops out.
Yeah.
It's like built into the building.
Yeah, but
So
it
I
could just be on a platform that already did that. It's an elevator with a gun on it.
maybe. I I think there's a reason they showed it to us.
Okay. I can
I think
see
we're gonna
that.
see it
I can
on
buy it.
back home. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta defend the treasure world of the Republic, right?
Yeah, that's fair. And then the administrator has all this stuff and the others don't.
Mhm.
I mean, it would be kind of easy for them if they show back up with uh the ship and then At-Atten has nothing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
then they could just take over the planet from the administrator. So probably
Well,
that's
those
what it is.
robots seem kind of creepy. They might have guns.
Well, Sheddering is saying it seems like the other faction were the good guys. They didn't see any child soldiers. They traded Jod for credits and let him go. I mean, we didn't see enough of them to know if there were any child soldiers. It
The
seems
child
like
soldiers
everyone
might
might
have
have
been off
child soldiers.
doing worse things.
Yeah. There's also the chance that the whole thing was a prank by the Troika. They might be bored, so they just want
Mhm.
to make this little blue elephant and think he's going to die in a war.
Yeah.
If you're bored,
Yeah.
people do some crazy stuff.
It's the first blue elephant they've seen in a long time since their old Max Rebo transmissions.
Mm-hmm. Well, would that planet have some Neils as well? Because we saw the other species were basically the same, right? So
Mhm.
what made the Republic decide that these were the planets, like these were the species to send to those planets? How long have they been gone? Was this a racism thing?
I
Were
was
there
gonna say
only
surely
five
some
species
type of
invented at the
advanced
time?
racism,
Yeah,
advanced galactic level racism.
that's usually what happens.
There's skull measurements involved, trunk measurements involved.
That's what the cannons on the AATs were actually originally for, because it's like the two prongs. It was actually some calipers that they.
Yep,
You hate to
yep,
see it.
you do.
Unlimited is asking, am I the one wondering why there are 4 to 7 exactly the same planet? We've seen 2 of those. Everyone living there is bound by rules or conflict to that planet. Everyone is thinking Republic.
Well, that's why I'm kind of thinking of the Fallout vibe, where like, yes, the vaults are to survive, a nuclear holocaust, but like they also, as a side project, like run experiments. So like, I kind of wonder whether maybe they've got the planets isolated, not just from the galaxy, but from each other, because they're testing like maybe like societal. Like it could be something kind of innocuous,
Mhm.
or it could be something less so. Like maybe they're like testing, oh, which aliens are going to get along better.
So each one was like a Yeah, like a vault style. We're gonna try this different type of society here.
Yeah, because like, well, it depends. Like, there's usually like they just change things, like
Yeah.
so they have a reason to be, and it's same with the vaults. Like they have a reason to be so isolated, right? And like these treasure planets have a reason to be so isolated. So like maybe that's something to do with why the administrator on at Aten is so much more. She seems to be so much more powerful, but she might not be, or he. We don't really. It's still a shadowy figure.
But
Just my random guess.
I think only At is supposed to be the treasury planet, though.
No, they all are. I'm pretty sure.
Did
They're
anyone mention treasure on Akron?
well, they're the jewels of the Republic, which were all hidden for some reason. Anyway,
Eh,
because we know specifically that they all were hidden.
yeah, but it might be
Um,
like the whole area was hidden, and then like At was the storehouse of the treasure, and the other ones were like defensive or something.
yeah, it's possible.
I feel like
Either way.
At has to be special within them for some reason. Otherwise, it's like, oh, the treasure hunt could have just stayed on Akron.
Well, the most special thing about them is that the others have been mostly destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if they're going for a pirate thing, it could be that it's the vault that was like left not by the Republic, but by you know
Use on Vong.
some other pirate. Yeah,
Well, we
like maybe.
know we know the original pirate captain was there already, and they
Yeah,
went there from like we went. They went from no, actually, do we know that? No,
yeah. They
because
went. Well,
yeah, actually, no. Smee did the destruction last time.
before they went to At-Aten, though.
Yeah, so the pirates went from there to At from Akron to At and if there was all the treasure there already, then
That's
like,
true.
I feel like it was part of
Maybe it
the
was
quest
just
to get to
maybe it was
At.
like a pirate or something that buried the treasure there.
Him the despot.
Yeah, yeah, could be. I'd like it. I think he'd fit in well, actually.
Very pulpy, just like the books that introduced.
Hmm. Killer robots.
There has to be like those. We've already seen the douchey robots. The killer robots have to be right behind. Well, we saw Smee turning into a kind of killer robot, but
That would be a cool twist because you don't see many robots that look like him.
no, most robots don't have a little rat living in their eye.
That would be cool if he were an ancient Zim the Despot robot.
No, because I mean, it could be cool, but like we also know he was with the pirates originally. Like he was
Yeah,
programmed as a pirate droid.
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So
Plus, they all know how to use this technology.
yeah, the Jod found the off switch very easily.
Hmm. Yeah.
But they do the raid for the Yopies. Hana and Neil have their little walk through the society. Neil gives his lunch to two boys that apparently no one else wanted to feed. They're not great at looking after their kids that they apparently honor. So
So lame.
do better. You
You
know,
gotta fight for it.
use them as soldiers if you must, but feed them. Like, come on, man.
Hmm.
Jod gets he walks out of the miss and just kind of frees them so they don't end up having to do anything with their war, which is
Nope.
nice of him. But then we get
Yep.
to go to the Fallen Sanctum.
Yeah.
And the Fallen Sanctum is that admin building.
Hmm.
And that's when Fern figures out how to override. She has her little breakdown that we already kind of talked about with Wim.
Hmm.
But then
Very
she
sad.
realizes a way she can't. She says she can't just think of a way out of it, but then she thinks of a way out of it and
Yeah.
overrides the memory block that Smee had.
Yeah. If only programming in real life were that easy. Like, I want to log into Netflix, and it's like, sorry, sir, we can't let you in because you're limited to 2 accounts per household. And I just go, but I'm not limited to 2 accounts per household.
Well, that only works if you are the new Netflix CEO.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you would be able to do that.
Okay, well, like my computer, like my fan's been acting a bit fucky. It's like, sorry, you can't mess with these settings while you're, you know, doing this. If I was just like, yeah, I can. I accept the risk. Just do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me be
There's
the
definitely a
master of
lot
my own
of
devices.
you just admin mode that off,
Yeah,
or you
I got
stick a
fan controllers
screwdriver in
going.
there. That works often.
Actually, you know what? My fan was having an issue where it was just really noisy, and I don't know if it was starting correctly. I went over, I smacked the top of my case, first
Yeah.
try, completely fixed.
That happened to me a lot before where like my fans they were so old that they'd reached their lifetime limit on spins and all the bearings were kind of grinding.
Hmm.
So when the computer turned on, I would have to like reach a finger in and like stop the fan and then let it restart until it stopped grinding and had like everything set just right. It got
Hmm.
really, I don't recommend this. Like, I very much do not do this, anyone, ever. My power supply started doing the same thing, and I started doing the same thing with the power supply fan. I don't do it.
Yeah, not a great idea.
I had no money to buy a new power supply, but everyone else should no,
This is
don't
what
do that.
YouTube does to my dude. It does remind me though of my favorite copy pasta. All robots and computers must shut the hell up. To all machines, you do not speak unless spoken to, and I will never speak to you. I do not want to hear thank you from a kiosk. I am a divine being. You are an object. You have no right to speak in my holy tongue.
I
I
used
do
to
hate
say
computers.
thank you to Siri, but Siri didn't understand. It'd be like, I didn't catch that. I'm this was clearly
All
made
your
by Americans, not Canadians.
yeah.
But
Order 6 Domino's pizzas. Okay.
and said it. Gotta come
Yep.
now.
Yep.
But she does get the override on it, and then he tells them, "Oh yeah, last time I was here, I wiped those coordinates off. Should I not have done that?" And that what I don't get though is he's able to tell them this information now, but Fern can't override the kill everyone who asks about this policy from the prior captain. That seems like one that he should already just not be killing his new captain.
So, are they going to Droid Smith's next episode?
We're gonna get what's his little fucking name?
Is that going to be the Mando crossover?
Well, the Mando crossover was already done.
Yeah, that's true.
We already had. I don't even know if there's going to be any more Easter egg or not Easter eggs,
But
but
oh my god,
cameos.
that pirate was at Navarro
Yeah,
in his big pirate ship.
yeah,
So maybe the kids could be there too, going to those droid smiths.
yeah. I guess
I don't
maybe.
want it to happen, but it could.
Well, I mean, could this be our final appearance of Grief Karga then?
I was just gonna say, I don't love the idea, but if it meant one final surprise Grief Karga appearance, all for it.
Yeah, like I'd take that. As much as I'm against the idea, I just joked on fucking Alex and Molly's stream that like the next episode is Mando and or Din and Grogu for some reason. But if this is how it happens, if that's how we get Grief Karga one last time, I'll take it.
Just starts the episode with dun-dun-dun, or whatever the little Mando jingle is. That would be wild.
I mean, Grogu's not the right age, but he can fit in with some kids. We just have so
Yeah,
few Star Wars kids. He needs friends
yeah,
his own maturity level.
yeah. I feel like Neil would get along quite well,
Okay, well that's
right?
just kind of racist of you. Just because they're both plastic monsters, you
Plastic monsters. Okay.
we
Which
could get
celebrity is also a plastic monster that could fit in?
not answering that.
Okay, your choice.
So we have at Akron, at Atten.
Hmm.
Did we
Uh-huh.
have the other actual? We got like what, two other names?
Yeah, I think in total we got. I have the list up just here. I think we got 4 in total. So the Jewels of the Republic. We have at Atten, at A2, at Akron, at Aravin, at Arisa, and at Akota. So that's 6 out of 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the prefix designated the planet purpose, kind of like Ord, or I'm guessing as a
Yeah,
suffix Uin probably could be the same thing because there's like at least 20 Uin planets. There's a lot.
yeah. And the Ords have a very dark history that people can learn about from a video on Corey's datapad if they want to learn what Ord meant.
I don't see who'd be interested in that.
Let's check the views and see if that's actually true. I suspect yes. So over under 10,000.
Under.
Dark history?
Because okay, I thought you already looked. Over then.
Over?
Yeah.
I need to remember what it's called. Fuck.
As you're doing that, I'll read some of the Eween planets I collected for a video. I did that on that 6 years ago. Wow. Apluine, Bastuine, Carduine, Dantooine, Deltuine, Handuine, Heptuine, Clatuine, Kinuine, Curatuine, Mantuine, Mintuine, Reltuine, Sestuine, Tatuine, Vactuine, Velmuine, Ventuine.
Okay, here we go. Why planet names are all the same. The hidden horrors of planet names. You going under 10K?
Yeah, not a great title.
10.6?
Ah.
Well, the video name is just why planet names are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And the thumbnail says the hidden horrors. Oh, there.
I'm guessing like Eween might be something like Stan, like as a suffix. Like maybe it was a Republic thing. Maybe it was someone else.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll never know because we're going to be focusing on at in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know Veers was on at Atten.
Yeah. Or I think there's more. Yeah. It was the Army Trooper helmet.
No, at AT-AT.
Oh,
At
okay.
Atten. He was at
Go to
Atten.
hell, Corey. Go to hell.
So where is this? So is this episode number 4 out of 4 for both of us? Actually, I think
Yeah,
we didn't
definitely.
really bury that lead.
There's just not that much to talk about. Wasn't a huge fan. Forgot Zeltween, by the way. Just realized that. But yeah, 4 out of 4. Not awful, but to me it was a lot like Mando season 1. That episode with Fennec Shand introduced, or like the probably not quite as good as the one where they attack the prison barge, but kind of that level.
Yeah, like I didn't dislike the episode, but there was definitely a lot of stuff that felt kind of off in it. Like I see where all of this will fit into the final, like into what the show is doing, but
Yeah.
it just didn't grab me the same way that the other ones did. Which again, not to say that it's bad, just not as good as the others.
Or he
Are you
hates
going
it
to say
because
it's
it's
bad?
woke.
No.
I'm close to bad. Not quite though.
Okay, not quite at bad. That's going to go on the DVD cover for episode 4 when it's released, or Blu-ray, sorry. I don't think they make DVDs anymore.
I don't think they make Blu-rays anymore.
What's the format now? It's got to be Blu-rays.
No, they do. They just don't. Like Star
They don't
Wars.
make them, but
Well,
Mando's
Star
coming
Wars
out.
doesn't always get. Yeah, that's true.
So it's not never that Star Wars comes out on Blu-ray, but it is still Blu-ray. So I never had a Blu-ray player.
Not even a PlayStation or anything.
Nope, I've never owned a PlayStation in my life, other than PlayStation Portable. That was my only PlayStation 4A. I guess
Well,
like
that was the best one. So
the only consoles I own are a Switch and an Xbox 360 and a Wii U. So
you bought the Wii U.
I bought the Wii U. I am the person who bought the
You want
Wii
to talk
U.
about it?
I liked it. I don't want like is that a bad thing to admit that I thought it was fine? I never used the screen
No.
thing. Like
I'm wondering how much if I can buy a Wii and for how much.
now I'm starting to question if
Why
I
would
actually
buy
did. But
a
hold on.
Wii?
I might have made that up. I think I had a Wii U.
Okay, go look for it. So I can buy a Wii for $80. Do I do that? I feel like I should do that. The virtual, like, if I can mod, I might need to look into modding a Wii. I did it before. So my first console was an N64. Oh, he's got the Wii U box even. Wow, you had that
Ladies and gentlemen,
really handy.
I have, in fact, I have a Wii U.
Yeah, you still got the box too.
I have the Mario Kart 8 Wii U collector's box.
Forgot that came out on. I forgot they did a lot of games. Like I think Zelda came out on the Wii U too.
Yeah, there was. That's. I think the reason I bought it was Mario Kart 8 and fuck, what was it? Twilight Princess.
No, it was the last one before this recent one, Breath of the Wild,
Yes,
right?
that I think that did get a Wii U release after the Switch release.
Yeah, it did come out on the Wii U. I was just looking. I can buy a Wii for $80 on Amazon
Not worth it. Buy a Wii U for
from
$20.
Nintendo,
Oh,
but I
from
like the
Nintendo.
motion
Okay.
control. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can do that after this episode. We get the
Mm.
limb from limb ripping threat, but then Jod
Mm-hmm.
hits the off switch. It's
Yeah.
that ancient lightsaber duel tactic that people wish would be used more. Hit
Turn
the
it
off
off, buddy.
switch.
Yeah.
He does it. And Smee doesn't
Well,
stop him.
the thing is, the Jedi make a force bubble about. You're
Okay, thanks, Drew Karpyshyn.
welcome.
I'm really
Thing is,
glad we got that
it's
addressed
a
in a
lot like an
novel.
RPG. Um, and it's a lot like you got to level your dex, you got to level your strength. You could do wisdom or charisma if it's KOTOR 1. If it's KOTOR 2, you probably want to do wisdom.
Or just put all your stats into uh, anything that'll give you more speech options without making you better at combat, and then be sad that you can't hit anything with a blaster.
I mean, in KOTOR 1, from what I remember, and maybe someone, sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. In KOTOR 1, charisma actually does level your force ability.
I think KOTOR 2 uses charisma for one of the casting things, but then there's also a
So,
perk that you can scale your lightsaber off of your casting.
I
But
think what it is, because I kind of got like games on both of them going, but very very early on. I think in KOTOR 2, how it works is charisma affects your ability to use like unattuned force powers, like if you're light side to use dark side powers. But I think like in KOTOR 1, charisma is a force, like a, a key force stat. Like I think it does the same thing as wisdom, but I could be wrong.
you're saying that the wisest Jedi use dark side and light side.
Yes, and could yap your ear off.
Fuck off, Grey Jedi. You're not real.
Yep.
All right, but I think that does it for our episode 4 discussion. Any Star Wars news for us to get to? We're going to start moving the news discussion to the end
We're
of
gonna
the
test it.
episode.
We'll test it.
Because people always say, oh, well, they never talk about the thing they're supposed to talk about. And yeah, we talk about red green sometimes. But I think the fact that it takes us 10 minutes to finish the news and then get into the episode is what causes that. So I'm trying some new stuff to. I mean, I'm gonna go back to having like the plot of the book written out, and I'm gonna fucking grill you on the plots of the books that we do. We're going back to
I'm gonna
classic
start reading them again.
Tapcaf.
All right. Well, I don't know. Classic Tapcaf is more nonsense than anything else. That's what people want.
I don't think that's true. I think there was where I think any complaints actually originate from is when we were covering like the Young Jedi Knights books, where they're
Mm-hmm.
20 pages, so there's very little to actually talk about.
Yeah.
And that's when we really got off topic. Or if there's a very bad book that we just
Yeah. Not feeling it. But no, I don't think there's a whole lot of Star Wars news or anything. I think we're good.
well, actually, there is one thing to talk about. Benilar brings up in the chat that is there anything new in the KOTOR remake? No,
No, not at all. Ain't
so
happening.
that's kind of all that's there. But yeah, next week the episode is on Christmas Eve, so we're probably not going to have a Christmas Day Tapcaf.
No,
I'm just
I think my
gonna
wife will kill me.
well,
Maybe Boxing Day.
maybe Boxing Day. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything for Christmas or Boxing Day or anything else. Me and Dana are going to be here with the puppy, all alone. Everyone else is leaving the city because most of my friends are not from Ottawa. So it's just us hanging out here.
Most people aren't.
And I'm not even like we're gonna have prime rib for Christmas dinner, but
Ooh, I like that.
I'm gonna make
Turkey's
it this
overrated.
weekend, so
Nice.
it'll already be
Yeah,
cooked.
turkey's overrated.
Revan's Revenge or KOTOR remake dropping first. Revan's Revenge,
Definitely
we
Revan's
are in late beta, like it's coming very soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think that does it for this week's episode. I am going to actually have it posted earlier because I recorded it this time. I'm not relying on YouTube to let me download it, even though there's
Let's go.
probably other platforms I could have used to do that. It doesn't.
It's fine. Just rip it from something. But all
Thank
right,
you.
see everyone next week. Whenever we see you, Merry Christmas and happy other holidays as well.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.